Top of the morning to you and welcome to AM Sports, your morning tea. And of course, what better way can you start your day if not by joining us on AM Sports to discuss all things trending in the world of sports. And of course, today it will be no different as we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to Nigerian sports and of course abroad. So sit back as we bring to you what we've got to offer today. I am Bade Adeleye. Once again, you're welcome to AM Sports, your morning tea. Alright, just like we always start the show, we're gonna start the show today with the newspaper headlines. But before we do that, let me introduce my guest on the show today. And of course, he's no newbie when it comes to sports analysis. Join me in welcoming Usha Hemba Maidodo to the studio. Usha, welcome on board.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here.
It's quite interesting to see all the things happening in the world of sports. So let's quickly take a look at the newspaper headlines. Okay, we have Sporting Live with us today, and of course, from the masthead, we have Mourinho, names his personal best ever 11, and of course, no Man U player on that list. And of course, we do have the finalists for the best FIFA Women's Player, the best FIFA Men's Player, and of course, FIFA Puskás, award, and that has been revealed already. Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. joins Loud as co-owner, and of course that's a Brazilian esports brand. And of course also we have Barcelona lose patience with Lewandowski. Maybe it's not delivering for them. Juve wants Boniface, that's Nigeria's Victor Boniface, to replace Vlahovic. And of course Chukwueze's goal was fabulous. That is coming from Rio Ferdinand. Osimhen's new deal won't deter Chelsea. That's another story on the front page, with Cooper saying, "I don't need reassurance about my future." Antoine Griezmann says Atletico Madrid will be his last European club, while Messi's World Cup jerseys sell for $7.8 million at auction. Porter meets with Ratcliffe over Man U job. A lot of stories on the front page, and of course inside pages and the back page of the Sporting Live. Usha, which one catches your fancy?
The one I'm most excited about is Graham Potter moving to Manchester United.
To kill the club, do you mean?
To finally bury the club. But he was a very good coach at Brighton. Chelsea showed that he wouldn't be able to he couldn't handle the big names and the egos at Chelsea. So I don't know why to go for a coach of Potter's caliber. It might be that probably the big names they really want, don't want to come to Manchester United, because if I'm a coach coming to Manchester United right now, at least 11 players will have to leave for me to do a good job.
You can just sack the whole team. All right, quite interesting. And of course, if you need more sports stories, you can grab any of the dailies, when it comes to sports news. Now, let's take more headlines and look at what is happening in the world of sports generally. All right, those are the sports headlines for you, and of course we start the show right away. And which other way are we going to start if not by taking a look at the Nigeria Premier Football League encounter that was played on Thursday? And of course, we do know that Rivers United all this while they've been very much busy, with continental football, but they had a game against Bayelsa United on Thursday, and that ended 2-0 in favor, of the team from Rivers State. Now they are gradually moving up the table when it comes to the Nigeria Premier Football League. And of course, with that, let's quickly take a look at the fixtures for this weekend, which will be match day 14 of the Nigeria Premier Football League. Katsina United are at home to Bendel Insurance. Rangers International also playing at home against Sporting Lagos. Gombe United are away to Sunshine Stars. Kano Pillars and Remo Stars have scores to settle. Lobby Stars against Doma and Outland against Aqua United. Shooting Stars playing away to Abia Warriors. Rivers United against Eimba International, with Plateau United playing against Bayelsa United. Usha, loads of matches there.
Loads of matches there, but Lobby and Doma will be an interesting one to watch.
Okay.
Both teams have started really, really well so far this season. Kano Pillars also and Remo. Kano Pillars haven't been doing so well.
Yeah.
And if they can just get those points at home, we know Kano is a very tough place to go and get points. But if Remo Stars should be able to give Kano a run for their money. Rivers United, the distraction of continental engagements has been affecting their form, but winning midweek now, they should be able to start to climb back to the top of the table. Another team there, Plateau United, has also started well.
Yeah.
So far this season,
and they are playing at home to Bayelsa
United. I won't say a guaranteed 3 points, but they should get over the line.
Okay, what will be your prediction for the Rivers United and Enyimba clash?
That's a tough one, but I'll give it to Rivers United. Enyimba, since they changed their backroom, the management staff is not been going on too well for them this season so far, and I think Rivers United, they are fit now. They've played more games so far, so I think they are reaching their top peak at this moment, so they should be able to beat Enyimba at home. All
right, quite interesting there. And just before we move further when it comes to football, there's something important we actually need to talk about, and that is the recently concluded Para Games in Abuja, and of course that ended on Thursday afternoon at the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. So before we continue with football, let's take a look at the final medal standings. And of course here, Bayelsa United, they finished as the top team, and they were followed by Abia, Kano, Lagos, Oyo, 5th, Edo, Nasarawa, Ondo, FCT, Enugu, and Plateau. And of course, what is really shocking is that 16 teams, 16 states, maybe we can say they did not come for the competition, but on the medal table they never got even a single medal.
When it comes to the Para Games, it's more difficult getting para athletes than getting your regular athletes. So sometimes you see states who struggle to find these para athletes to compete for their team. I'm not sure whether the same thing that happens in the normal games where states get players from other states to represent them. You don't necessarily have to be born from a particular state to represent another state. But I'm seeing Kano used to dominate a few years ago. Now we are seeing Bayelsa and Abia coming up the table. That's a good one for them. But I'm surprised that Kano and Lagos are not did not do so well this time around this year.
All right, that was the second edition of the Para Games, and according to the organizers, they rated it as one of the best ever held, and we're waiting to see the third edition. We're looking forward to seeing that. All right, let's return to football, but let's start with women's football. As Nigeria's Chiamaka Nnadozie, and of course we do know that she's the reigning and the first ever women's goalkeeper of the year in Africa. She got that on Monday night at the CAF Awards ceremony. See the way she did so well for her club against Real Madrid on Thursday night.
Denied. Nnadozie guessed correctly.
Quite a beautiful one there. That's Nigeria's Chiamaka and Nnadozie. Paris FC, they gave Real Madrid a 2-0 beating. And this girl again.
She practically single-handedly dragged Paris FC into the Champions League with her shot-stopping capabilities. If she keeps on like this, the Super Eagles having problems in the goal.
Maybe we can just bring her.
We can just bring her to come and represent the men's team. But she's been exceptional since the World Cup. Playing with a goalkeeper like that in the defense, you will not be so worried about getting a penalty because you know she's probably going to end up stopping this thing. And I'm seeing the penalty, and I'm seeing that she's not getting the recognition she deserves for me, probably because she's not in one of the traditional big 5 teams in women's football. But so far, dragging Paris FC game after game after game, I think the accolades will start pouring in very soon.
All right, let's move away from France now straight to England and talk about the English Premier League. We're back to men's football, and of course we know that there are loads of fixtures for this weekend, and the huge one will be coming on Sunday with Liverpool hosting embattled Manchester United. That will be the last game for the weekend. But there are other interesting fixtures with Nottingham Forest going up against Tottenham, Bournemouth against Luton Town, Chelsea are at home to Sheffield United, Manchester City play Crystal Palace, Newcastle, remember they are injury ravished, they are at home to Fulham, Burnley and Everton have scores to settle. On Sunday, Arsenal are at home to Brighton. Aston Villa play away to Brentford, with Wolverhampton Wanderers also travelling to West Ham United. Which one, do you think there will be lots of fireworks?
I think Newcastle, Fulham are scoring goals for fun in their last 3 games, 4-5 goals, and Newcastle not doing so well out of Europe completely and losing 2 games in a row. Liverpool, Manchester United, no matter how bad United are, the game against Liverpool is always a game you don't know which way. And Rashford, probably those are the games he lives for, the big games. He will end up turning up and scoring the winner there. But all the top teams this weekend have really tricky ties. Arsenal, Crystal Palace, we saw what they almost did to Liverpool, if not for that red card. So, and we know Man City are not playing so well. That's another difficult game. But they are the Etihad, so we'll expect them to win that game. But against a defensively solid Crystal Palace, that's another difficult game. Even Arsenal, we see Brighton, they score a lot of goals. So it's not a walkover for Arsenal. But this weekend, any of the big teams that drop points towards this Christmas period is going to go a long way to determining who will win this league or who will finish in the top 4. All
right, talking about the big teams, I don't even know, maybe we can put Manchester United in that category now. But we're not done with our stories coming from England. As let's quickly take a look at this one. That's the case between Mikel Arteta and the English FA. Remember, they charged him for misconduct, but a panel has come out, and of course it was Arteta that came on top, and the panel concluded that the Arteta did not insult the match officials, and of course nothing was said by Mikel Arteta that implies incompetence on their part. It did not bring the game into disrepute, and of course comments were not detrimental to the best interest of the game. And of course what he said was that was unacceptable and disgraceful. Embarrassing.
It's quite embarrassing. If this was happening probably in the Nigerian league, the Western media, the English media will make it look like we are incompetent. There's an issue with the VAR and refereeing inconsistencies. Instead of addressing these problems, they keep coming after players and coaches that are pointing out, sort this thing out. It's costing teams points. And like Arteta, Arsenal now is feeling it. Refereeing calls now, you see the 2 games they've lost against Newcastle, referees 50-50 chances that will give Arteta and his team the benefit, will not go Arsenal's way. And now he has to know that till the end of the season they have to finish the job. Any 50-50 call he's fighting against the establishment,
yes.
So he's not going to get it, and it might affect Arsenal this season. We saw Liverpool against Tottenham. That game might just end up costing Liverpool top 4. It's so tight now in the top 6
yes.
or top 7 that teams can't afford to lose 3 points to bad refereeing decisions. The referee came out and apologized against, I think, Man City.
Yeah.
That last minute pass, he allowed play on, called for the game to play on. Striker was 1-on-1, and then you now blew for a foul and taking it back. That cost City points.
Yeah, and it's good that they even realized that, and he really felt sorry. All right, let's quickly move away from England and take a look at the top 4 other top 5 leagues in Europe. Let's begin with La Liga. That's the Spanish La Liga. Celta Vigo are at home to Granada. Athletic Bilbao will be entertaining Atletico Madrid, with Valencia home to Barcelona. On Sunday, Real Sociedad will host Real Betis, with Real Madrid entertaining Villarreal. And of course, we're going to move from Spain straight to Italy. Genoa are at home to Juventus, and of course Lecce and Frosinone have scores to settle. Napoli, the team that has Nigeria's Victor Osimhen, are at home to Cagliari, while Empoli travel to Torino. And of course, AC Monza and AC Milan is going to be, a battle between association, Calcio teams. And of course, Fiorentina are at home to Hellas Verona. Bologna and AS Roma have scores to settle with Lazio and Inter Milan. Trading tackles, Atalanta are at home to Salernitana on Monday. In the German Bundesliga, Mainz 05 and Heidenheim will trade tackles. Augsburg and Borussia Dortmund also have a date, with Wolfsburg traveling to Darmstadt. Union Berlin and Bochum have scores to settle, while RB Leipzig and Hoffenheim have a date. Freiburg are at home to Cologne. Bayer Leverkusen will entertain Frankfurt, with Bayern Munich and Stuttgart trading tackles. And of course, finally to the French Ligue 1, where we have AS Monaco are at home to Olympique Lyon. And of course, Lens and Stade Reims have scores to settle there. Nantes and of course Brest, they have a game. Lorient and Strasbourg will also trade tackles, with Metz and Montpellier going head to head. Rennes are away to Toulouse, with Lille and Paris Saint-Germain trading tackles as the last game of the weekend. Any big game there, Osha?
So far, I think Girona is the team everybody wants to see
in La Liga
this season. On Monday, they are playing Alaves, and that would be a good one to see if they can keep up the pressure on Real Madrid and Barcelona. And then maybe in the German Bundesliga, Victor Boniface, Leverkusen haven't lost a match so far. It will be good to see him lead the attack line and get Leverkusen the championship. Bayern and Dortmund have dominated that league, and maybe he will take over from Victor Osimhen as Africa's number 1 striker in the French league. You are my favorite team there, Brest. I would like to see what they will do in their game away from home.
All right, away from all those leagues in Europe, let's talk about the elite club competition in the world, and of course that's the UEFA Champions League. Let's take a look at the results we got on Tuesday and Wednesday. And of course, I think Manchester City on Wednesday were able to get an away win over Red Star Belgrade, and Borussia Dortmund and Paris Saint-Germain settled for a 1-0 draw. Lots of interesting results there, with Barcelona also losing, away, and of course that has serious ramifications on the final tables, going from Group A to Group H. We do know that in Atletico Madrid, Lazio qualified from Group E, Dortmund and Paris Saint-Germain from Group F, Man City and RB Leipzig from Group G, and Group H, Barcelona and Porto qualified. Are you shocked that is there anything that you got shocked that didn't qualify?
No, not really. The traditional powerhouses are still there, but this is maybe AC Milan. I thought AC Milan should have gone through, but for a team like Arsenal, I think they will be, if they get the good draws on Monday, this is the weakest Champions League we've seen so far. Apart from maybe Bayern, Real Madrid, and Man City, they'll have a very, very good chance of reaching the semi-finals this year around.
All right, a lot of things we've been able to talk about, and of course we'll be giving you much update when we return for another edition of the show on Monday. But just before we give you our closing thoughts, let's quickly give you something to make you smile just before we go.
The motorcyclist in blue is a horrible cheater. Romano Fenati was renowned for dirty tricks on the track, including kicking, screaming, and even pulling out his opponent's kill switch. This is about to be one of the closest finishes in men's hurdles history, but I think one runner wants the win just that little bit more. Can you spot which one?
The finish line to get the victory.
V8s plus a wet track equals the granddaddy of all spinouts. He might have lost the race, but at least if his career as a driver doesn't pan out, he can always take a shot at ballet. Personally, if I had a coach like Shia LaBeouf yelling inspirational quotes at me, I'd probably be a better athlete. But if we're being honest, I don't think it helped this diver out at all. After running the fastest half marathon in London's history, Robert Mabithe was taken out by the final boss, the finish line tape. After this long tennis rally, the ball boy just wanted to do his job. What did he get in return? Crash tackled. Luckily, he was fine, even getting a standing ovation from the crowd.
All right, quite interesting, and of course we want to thank you for being part of the show today, and of course with me has been Usha Imba Medodo. Just before we go, Usha, your closing thoughts. It's going to be a really packed weekend in terms of sports.
Yeah, hopefully with a lot of big games, interesting games coming up this weekend, and the Christmas fixtures coming up thick and thin, and wish all the teams best of luck.
All right, I do hope the luck extends to is extended to Manchester United. But in case you can get any of their fans now, please give them a hug. They are going through a whole lot. All right, that's the show. We want to thank you for being part of it, and of course we'll be back on Monday. When we return on Monday, there will be new segments including questions and answers, and we'll give you the opportunity to call into the show to win fantastic prizes. It's going to be getting better and better on AM Sports, your morning tea. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bade Adeleye, thanking you on behalf of the production crew here at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Good morning.